Roll it.
Joshua, we're doing an update from Munich. Tell me, Munchen. Tell me a little bit about Munchen.
Well, we took the night train in from Amsterdam, got there bright and early, and we all kind of decided that we wanted to head to Dachau right away.
And what is Dachau?
Dachau is a concentration camp turned memorial. Very, very emotional time there. Didn't know what to expect, similar to the Anne Frank house. Got there and you just feel it in your chest, like how many people? 65,000 people there, just going through one of the worst times in recent memory for like just the epitome of like Nazi, like just how they horrible treatment of everyone during that time.
It was the first concentration camp that all of them were supposed to be modeled after. How many was it supposed to initially hold?
It's supposed to hold like 2,000.
Yeah.
200 per barrack, and then ended up to 2,000 per barrack, just stacked in there in these crazy small bunks. And
Ben, how did you feel?
Same way. No words can't describe what you feel. You just like get goosebumps everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, just stepping through the gates was just, I mean, you're willingly stepping through the gates and thinking of like shuffling thousands of people through there.
And what did it say? What was engraved in the fence?
Work will set you free, which was their like Nazi propaganda and kind of clever lie to get them to build up the barracks and all this other stuff.
Well, it was actually the Nazis, like, that's what the Nazi soldiers believed about themselves too.
Yeah.
So that was meant for the Nazi soldiers, and then also for the prisoners. So we spent some time there. We saw a gas chamber that was actually never used. We saw crematoriums.
Yeah, that was horrible. That little section.
Yeah, that was really tough to see. And they had the Jewish memorial.
Like a whole lot of them.
Yeah. A lot of memorials, yeah.
I'm kind of glad they put those in there.
Yeah.
And then, on a lighter note, I guess, tough to transition from something like that. We went and checked into the hostel, correct?
Yes.
And then we headed to Olympic Park after that.
Yeah, where I did laundry for 4.5 hours.
Awesome.
2 loads, 4.5 hours.
Olympic Park, very cool. I guess it's one of like the first modern Olympic parks. Like they really went all out to like have a good showing of the city. I think in part because it was like the first time that on a world stage like Germany was able to host something since like World War II. Like they kind of said, okay, like you guys have like paid your reparations to society and we're gonna let you host this. And then actually they had Jewish people or Jewish athletes massacred at the Olympics. Not massacred. Well, yeah, that was
murdered. 11 of them.
11 of them murdered. At the Olympic Village. So like it was just, I guess it was another horrible time in their history, having to do with the Jews again. But the grounds were really beautiful, and like the stadium was very, very cool, modern. Surprisingly better than Barcelona's, even though it was 20 years
I think even
prior.
More modern than Barcelona.
Yeah.
Rox, do you have any opinions down there in your cave?
Not really.
About anything. What did you guys do after the Olympic Village?
Well, we picked up Eugenio, and we decided to have dinner at 10 o'clock.
At where?
The Hofbräu House.
The Hofbräu House.
Dun, dun, dun.
The world's largest permanent beer hall, correct?
World's largest permanent beer hall, apparently.
Yes.
And I enjoyed a lovely pretzel
Yeah.
and bread basket,
Yeah.
while the others
And 4 liters of beer.
while the others binged. And I'll let someone else talk about the beer lunch and the.
I'm not gonna let Josh do this because he messed up the order and he's gonna mess up the story. Ben, what happened?
That was it. Well, Josh, this is Josh. We want one of these 4 sausages, and then we'll take one order of these other sausages. So, well, first off, I sat down and I was like, okay, I'll take a beer. Okay, I'm bringing 4 beers. So
Yeah, we weren't even consulted.
came up with 4 liters.
I don't even
And
drink
so-
beer.
And so Ben pays for the beers, whatever. And then we ordered food. We ordered 2 bread baskets because when I suggested 1 bread basket, Rox almost scratched my face off. And then, but I want one for me. So then,
And then enter Josh.
enter Josh. Tell me what you meant to do.
There was something that said 4 wieners, Frankfurters, so I wanted to get that. The 1 plate of the 4 of them. And there was something that said 2 like white sausages, so I wanted 1 plate of the 2 of those. I pointed to them on the menu.
She understood.
She understood perfectly. She handed me the bill. It was €35, which seems excessive for 6 wieners and
Like,
2 baskets of bread.
this can't be right. So I went to talk to her. We only wanted half of this stuff. To which she says, yes, I understand. Go sit down. 10 minutes later, she brings us 12 wieners. And
With a heaping amount of
my God.
sauerkraut.
Really good potato salad.
Great potato salad, right? Right?
Yep, it's pretty good.
you weren't supposed to eat that.
The few morsels I was allowed.
A few morsels. Get out of here. We gave you a fork.
Did we?
No.
And then
No, we didn't.
roughly 4 sausages a piece later, I'm staring at what equates to maybe like a handful of sauerkraut
It's like a fistful.
and a mouthful of
Beer wench.
beer, a mouthful of the larger of the 2 sausages that we ate.
Yeah, so what happened was that I finished with like my 5 or so sausages. Ben had like 1 or 2, and he dominated his sauerkraut.
I had 4, so
And then you had like 4 or so, whatever. However, all those add up to 12.
I
That's what we
an
had.
entire plate of sauerkraut.
And she comes to clear our table, right? And what happens?
There's a little bit left. Well, a lot of it left after 4 sausages. I mean, every bite is like just painstakingly like huge. And she decides that she's gonna feed me like a child. So puts this mouthful of this 1 sausage in my mouth and makes me eat that. Man, that's gonna sound really bad.
And then as he's struggling with the meat in his mouth,